Great, I can see everybody doing that exercise, so that's great. So remember, there are two places, the top, everything finishes at the top, and you're just feeling that stretch of the fascia. It's not the sort of stretch you do in a gym where you really push yourself up. It's just so you can feel the opening of all the joints. You can feel the pull. It's like opening up an elastic band. And then without stopping, that's the top of the in-breath. That's the first point. Without stopping, changing all the way down, everything changing. And that's the bottom of the out-breath. And you scan through, make sure the buttocks aren't held, make sure the thighs aren't held, the chest, the breathing is soft. And then fold. Breathe in. Breathe out. Release. Keep releasing until the thumbs touch the thighs. Fold. When you lift, remember you're not just lifting the fingertips, but you're deliberately lifting the chest and you're lifting the back of the head, crown of the head, into an upright position, and you're releasing straight down on the inside. Just like that egg timer. Turning to the side by softening the hip joint and allowing your weight to push onto the leg. Fold. Keeping the foot nice and grounded. Both feet equally weighted, lift. I always explain everything we do thoroughly. Partly because some people haven't been for a while. You may forget, and partly to keep you remembering so you don't just drift off and think about something else. So you stay noticing the sensations of the body, chest, head, fingers, feel the stretch, feel the releasing quality of the body, melting. Feel the settling. Going to fold the opposite hip. Going to release the leg. That allows the body weight in towards the leg. Staying upright, fold. Turn back. And the last one. Up. Stretch the chest, stretch the back of the neck and release. There's our standing posture. So with our body in the standing posture, we'll bring our heels together. Letting go of the weight of the arms, so the shoulders drop down, out and backwards. That creates movement in the elbow, one fist from the body, one fist distance from the body to the elbow. Take your time to notice what you can release. Any unnecessary holding you don't need inside the body. We want to just give it up to the ground. And as we do that, we want to make sure we don't collapse. We keep our nice, proud, upright posture and release on the inside. Sink, both knees bend, center of the body, drop slightly. We feel connected to both feet. We pass that to the right foot and we push the left foot out. Just one shoulder width. We relax the left leg to allow the body to move onto it. At the same time, we're turning to the corner. And we come right the way across so that our spine is over the foot. And then we turn the hips back. As we turn the hips back, the right toes come in, feet parallel, shoulder width, the hands open, palms backwards, and we lift. Hands to the height of the throat, and we release. Vertically straight down, just like our egg timer, sinking. Head top, turn the hips around that axis. The foot turns in with the hips, pivoting on the left heel. Pass the weight back to the left, away from the right wrist. The right arm elongates. So as soon as our spine's over the left foot, we turn, holding the ball, facing 3 o'clock. Center line, the gaze, the hands on the center line. Make sure your left knee hasn't collapsed. Your left knee is pointing in the direction of the toes. Walk forward, sinking. As we come into the center, we're sinking. Nice and stable and relaxed. Onto the front foot. Turn and sink. Step. Glide in, 50-50. Turn in the base. Once your posture is facing the right direction, you're right in the middle of the posture. There's the final sink and settling. Moving on to the front foot, turn to the corner. Sink and turn back. 100% on the left, step with the right heel. Glide into the 50-50. If you look down, you can see that your feet are at right angles to each other. The right facing 3 o'clock, the left to 12. Fingers of the left hand pointing into the right fingertips at the height of the throat. Turn the hips and turn the shoulders and turn the hands, and you arrive in the posture and the final sinking. Turn to the corner as you move on to the front foot. The left fingers just drop below the wrist, turn back and sit back onto the left foot. 100% on the left, turn open, turn back, glide into the 50-50, sinking, dropping the left wrist on top of the right wrist. The body settled and sunk. Onto the front foot and press. Gliding back onto the back foot. The arms stretch as the shoulders move away from the fingertips. Moving in, the arms bend. Again, looking for that settled position where we feel nicely balanced in both legs. Onto the front foot and push. The hands go out, just the length of the fingers. Leave the fingertips behind, sit away from them onto the left foot. Turn the hips. As you turn, the right toes pivot on the heel. The shoulders move with the hips. The arms move, everything turning together. Pass the weight back to the right. 100% weight on the right. Drop the left hand underneath. Form a hook. Turn. Draw in the toes of the left. Step with the heel of the left. Move into the 50-50. Again, your feet now are at 90 degrees. Turn. When you're facing 9 o'clock, you're right in the center, upright. Finally, sink. Sink means releasing. Letting go of unnecessary holding and letting your body give up the holding inside your body to let gravity press you in. It feels like your legs are like the skin of a beach ball and your body weight's just pressing down into your legs. And you feel buoyant. Single whip. Moving forward onto the left foot. Turning to the corner. Drawing in the toes of the right. Sink, drop the elbows. Push out the heel. Drop the hands. Turn open. Turn back. Step to the corner. Shoulder stroke. Posture of shoulder stroke to the corner. The foot is facing the corner. The body isn't quite facing the corner. The body's slightly to the side. It's leading in with the forearm. So the foot is facing straight ahead to the corner, but the body isn't facing the corner. The body is facing slightly to the side. So you're leading with the foot and the outside of the arm, shoulder stroke. The hands are on the center line of the body, one above the other, in like a cage around the body. So there's some space between the body and the elbows. It's not collapsed, it's nice and full. And it's like you're pushing with this part of the arm coming into push. We'll go from the beginning. I won't talk so much, just the critical things. Give you a chance to feel it more rather than thinking about getting it right. Take your time. First is always lifting the chest, always lifting the head. And then those muscles you've used to contract and lift, let them melt. Continue that melting, bend the knees, stable in both feet. One smooth turn, stable, upright, and fully over the left. One smooth turn back, and sink. Every move finishes with a sink. Lift. And sink all the way down, giving up unnecessary holding and releasing, finding that stable, settled quality turn. Sit back, turn, facing 3 o'clock, into the center, posture, sink, and onto the front foot. Sink as you turn. Into the center, turn the hips, and posture and release onto the front foot. Sink as you turn. Move in. 50-50, turn and sink. Through onto the front foot. Sit back. Open. Turn back. One fist from the left ear. Into the center. Posture is one thing. Changing the quality of the body to allow the body to sink and press onto the ground is the second thing. So the first thing is to have the structure of the body. The second thing is to release the body like an upside down letter Y, the weight of the torso pressing into the legs, onto the front foot and press. So you're very stable when you go into the press position. Sit back, into the posture, upright, organized, accurate, and release onto the front foot. Sit back, turn. Continue turning, sit back, drop the left hand, turn back, take a step, glide into the center, turn the waist, and there's the posture, but the quality isn't there yet. We need to release unnecessary holding and let ourselves sink. Let the elbows become heavy, let the shoulders drop, let the whole body press into the knees and onto the ground and make us stable and settled through to the front foot. Turn to the corner, drawing the toes of the right, sink the elbows, squeeze the elbows together lightly, push out the left foot. Lift hands. Drop the hands, turn open, turn back, step, glide in, there's the posture. Everything's in the right place, everything's settled, everything's organized. Then we have to settle, release any unnecessary holding. It's like releasing the whole musculature around the skeleton. The skeleton's in place, but the muscles might be holding, so we release the muscles and move on to the front foot. Shoulder stroke. The last couple of moves, have a look, I'll do them facing you. Single whip, posture of single whip. My center line, which goes through the body, is right in the middle of the feet. So if I was to draw a line between my heel and my toes, just about see that, and my opposite toes and heel, there's a cross on the floor. That's exactly where my center line should be. Not too far over to the front foot, not too far back to the back foot, not wiggling one side or the other, but right in the middle. Upright, lifted, lifted, and released. The most important thing is to have the legs settled and the body settled, because this is where the relaxation takes place, and the shoulders settled. So in this posture, the wrist is at the same height as the shoulder. The fingers are the elbow is 2 fingers below. So if I was to draw a line from the wrist to the shoulder, just touches the top of those fingers there. Just 1.5 inches bent, not bent this way, not straight, but just slightly bent. All the fingers touch the thumb, straight down. And it's the hand is out to the side, 90 degrees out to the side. So I'm facing forwards, which is the 9 o'clock position in the form. The hook is facing 12 o'clock. The front hand, the fingers are just on the center line of the body at the height of the throat. It's the same posture as the push. In the push, they're slightly either side of the center line. In this one, it's the same position, pretty much on the center line. One span from the left hand, left body to the left elbow, the shoulders released. As the body releases, the shoulder releases and the arm falls into the right position. So it's put in the right position, not by putting the arm there, but by changing the condition of the shoulders and the chest. The elbows allowed to fall. That's the position you want. So in all these postures, we put our body into a structural position, and then we change it. And you may not see a lot of movement. Going from a holding posture, a structural posture, into a released posture, you may only see a tiny movement, but the feeling and the substantiality of the body is huge, big, settled quality. So from here, if you have a look, what I'm going to do is I creep the weight forward onto the front foot, bringing my head top over the front foot. As I turn, the hands open. All my weight is over the left foot now, so I can bring in the right toes. And as I sink, I'm pushing out the heel. I'm dropping the body. I'm squeezing the elbows together, but it's not a pushing together. It's just relaxing them together, and it's as if they're squeezing together. The posture, palms up at 45 degrees, the fingers of the left looking into the forearm. Drop the hands. The right hand comes 1 fist from the groin and protects the groin. The left hand to the hip joint. Turn open. Palm down at the height of the shoulder. Turn back, fold. As I open, the arm lifts. As I turn back, the arm folds at the elbow. Sorry, this one's protecting the groin. The hands drop. Turn open, the arm lifts. Turn back, the left arm folds. Draw in the toes of the right. Step with the right to the corner. Move into the posture. And the sinking is the release of the arm and the releasing of the hands into the posture. Stable, upright, and sunk. Shoulder stroke to the corner. In the form, we'll go from ward off right, facing 3 o'clock. The center line, exactly to 3 o'clock. Both hips turned to face 3 o'clock. The knees in the direction of the toes. The center line right in the middle between the feet and the body settled. The hand, the center line on the center line of the hand where the crease is on the center line of the body at the height of the throat. One span to the elbow, the fingers of the left looking into the right hand. Sink onto the front foot and turn. Stay on the front foot. Draw backwards. Turn open. All the weight on the back foot. Turn back and fold the arm. The same move we were just doing just now. Glide in, there's this posture. And then sink in. Feel the difference as your legs fill with the weight of your body allowed to press into them. Move onto the front foot and press. Sit back. Move in. Everything's going to release when you get to the center. Relax the legs, relax the groin, relax the buttocks, relax the abdomen, relax the shoulders. There's the posture. Move on to the front foot and push. Sit back. Turn. Move to the right foot. Drop the left hand underneath. Turn, form a hook. Step out. Move into the 50-50. Turn the base and bring the right toes in and sink. Move on to the front foot. Turn. All the weight's now in the left, drawing the right toes. Push out the heel and drop the elbows, lifting hands. Drop the hands, turn open, lift the left arm. Turn back and fold. Step out with the right and glide into shoulder stroke. I think we might have about 5 or 10 minutes, so I'm going to add a new move. I'm just going to check the time we have. We've got 5 minutes. Have a look at the new move. Next move is a great move. It's called White Crane Spreads Wings, and it looks like this. I'll do it facing you. Shoulder stroke is to the corner. I'll do the directions in a minute. I'll just show you what the posture looks like. I want to do it facing you. So from shoulder stroke, I move on to the front foot. If you see my left toe, heel comes off the ground, all my weight's going onto the front foot, and I'm turning onto my front foot. Now I'm over my front foot. I turn back, spiraling up, draw in the toes, sink and push out the toes. White crane spreads wings. Open posture. One span from the thumb to the brow. The elbow isn't up here, the elbow is sunk. The hands at the height of the brow. All the weight is 100% on my right leg. I could just swing the knee and my foot misses. The thumb is on the thigh, same as our standing posture. Have a look again, front shoulder stroke. I turn one way, moving onto the right foot. As I turn back, I drop the left hand. I pull up the right hand and open up, draw in the toes. As I finally face you, I sink and push out the ball of the foot. There's no weight in the ball of the foot. White crane spreads wings. One span, thumb here, one fist here. I'll do it facing the direction of the form. Shoulder stroke is to the corner to 10:30. I'm going to move on to the right foot, and my body's going to turn to face 12 o'clock. My foot stays where it is, facing the corner. My right foot stays facing the corner. My hips turn as I move on to the front foot to face 12 o'clock. I'm going to turn back now to face 9 o'clock. So I turn my waist, I drop my left hand, I pull up my right hand, I draw in the left toes, and I sink, pushing out the ball of the foot. So this posture is facing 9 o'clock. The left foot has got no weight in it. The right foot is exactly where it was when I was doing shoulder stroke. It hasn't moved at all. It's facing the corner. And that allows me to have my waist and my center line in this posture facing 9 o'clock. Let's just try the posture by itself. So if your back foot is at an angle, facing a corner, your hips are straight ahead. There's no weight in the ball of the foot, which is just slightly touching the ground. Body's upright. The right hand is one span from your brow. Body's upright. The right hand is one span from the brow. Slightly in front. Not to the side, exactly to the side. It's just slightly in front. And your left hand thumb on the thigh. That's the posture. All the weight is 100% on your right leg. In the form, it's facing 9 o'clock. So let's go from single whip. Single whip is facing 9 o'clock. Our weight's 50-50. Our body's upright. Holding the hook with the right hand, left hand, settle. Glide on forward onto the left foot. See the right heel come off the ground. When I'm over my foot 100%, there's no weight in the right foot. Turn to the corner. Here I can pivot on the ball of the right foot. There's no weight in it. Draw in the right foot. Sink, push out the heel. The heel touches just as I sink everything finishes. Lifting hands. Drop the hands. Turn open. Turn back. Facing the corner, take a step. Move in. And finally sink. Move on to the front foot. This is the tricky one because you're moving forwards, but you're also folding the hip and you're turning your body to 12 o'clock. As you turn back, you drop your left arm and you draw your right arm up. As all your weight's on the right foot, you bring in the left ball of the foot. And as you finally sink into the posture, you push out the ball of the foot. White crane spreads wings. How do the hands move? Shoulder stroke. Turn up as you move onto the front foot. This movement is very much like this movement here in the form, where I move onto the front foot and I turn to the corner. I turn my hips to the corner, but my weight is now on the front foot. Then I stay on the front foot and I sit back. It's the same thing going on here from shoulder stroke. I move on to the front foot, and as I do, I turn. This is where the left hand is going to drop down the right arm, and at the same time, the right arm is going to pull up out of the left. So imagine your right arm is like a sword, a curved sword, and your left arm is like the sheath, and you're drawing it out. It all comes from the turning of the body. It doesn't happen by itself with the arms. It happens because you're turning your body back to face 9 o'clock. Your hips were facing 12, and you're turning them back to face 9. That's when the hands move. And finally, the settling into the posture. I just need to see the time again. Got one time to go through the form from the beginning to white crane spreads wings. Settled, upright, released, quiet, me time. Gliding inside your body to notice any holding and sink. See if you can remember what to do yourself without me talking it through. See if you can feel what to do without it being, remind yourself rather than me having to remind you. corner into the center and sink. Move forward onto the right, turn the hips and the body to the front at 12 o'clock. As you turn back, all your weight is on the right. Turn, drop the left hand, pull the right hand through and open up. Here are the wings of the crane, spreading, draw in the left toes. Sink all the weight on the right, push the ball out. There's no weight in the ball of the left foot. Sinking into the posture, upright and fully released. White crane spreads wings. I have to unmute everybody. Good. So just trying to be as clear as I can with the directions. I hope that worked okay. I hope you could follow that. Yeah, great. If you need to see it again, obviously you'll have to watch the replays, which I'll send out as soon as I can, but just to refresh yourself. But the best thing to do well, I used to find when I was learning a new move, the best thing to do is to immediately now, in the next 5 minutes after the class, try and do it yourself. Try and remind yourself, because if you can do that now, it'll just settle in much, much more strongly. If you leave it till tomorrow, you forget in the morning, or you don't have time by the evening, or what the hell did he say? Whereas if you can do it now, you can really cement it in and remember it with your body rather than just thinking about it. Try and do it again if you've got 5 minutes. I'd recommend it. Is there anything you want to ask about that posture? Was it okay?
That was okay, thanks.
Can you just point out for people the position of the hand, the wrist?
Yeah, the hand is almost vertical. It's in front of the brow, and if I'm facing sideways, it's not in line with my ear, it's forward. It's forward of the head. It's like a slapping movement. Yeah. And it's not kind of close. It's a good distance from the body, so it's not kind of small. It's nice and open.
You made the point, look, on one of the postures that as you shift fully into the front foot, you raise the rear heel.
Yeah.
Is that something we should be aiming to do pretty much in all the form?
Yeah. So every time your weight goes onto the front leg,
yeah,
and it comes out of the back leg, the heel can come off.
Okay.
So if that means that when you go forward onto the front leg and the weight comes out, you've just got the ball of the back foot. So when you turn, you can pivot on the ball before taking a step.
Okay, and that's not a workaround or a compromise. That's what we do.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%.
Yeah,
without a doubt, that's the way to move. So that when you're shifting the weight from one foot to another foot, the weight gradually leaves one foot and you come up onto the ball of the foot.
I got you.
How far you lift the heel off the ground is you can do what you want, but basically you want to be thinking about sinking into that front foot so the back foot gets lighter and lighter, so you're transferring the weight in that way.
Okay, thank you.
Great, you're welcome. Good. Have a good week.
Thank you, Luke.
Very much. Thank you a lot.
See you Thursday.
Yeah.
No Tuesday.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Bye. Got record.